Does Gunther actually show up anyway? And if you think the punishment is the whole story here, stay locked in. Triple H just ran out of patience with Gunther. And Gunther, for the first time in his WWE career, is staring down a consequence he cannot chop his way out of. But here is the question nobody is asking right now: if Triple H suspends the ring general heading into Saturday night's main event at Madison Square Garden, does Gunther actually show up anyway? And if you think the punishment is the whole story here, stay locked in, because by the end of this video, the real reason Triple H had to act and exactly what it unlocks for SummerSlam 2026 is going to completely reframe everything you saw on Friday night. You found WWE Elite, the channel that decodes the booking before the dirt sheets even warm up their laptops. Now here is the full picture, and it is wild from every angle. This is not Gunther's first rodeo with WWE management in 2026. At Night of Champions in Riyadh, after losing the undisputed WWE champion, you found WWE Elite, the channel that
Can you hear me? Testing, testing.
even warm up their laptops. Now here is the full picture, and it is wild from every angle. This is not Gunther's first rodeo with WWE management in 2026. At Night of Champions in Riyadh, after losing the undisputed WWE champion, you found WWE Elite, the channel.
Can you hear me? Testing, testing.
Even warm up their laptops. Triple threat to Sami Zayn. Gunther went backstage and physically confronted SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis. Both men were sent home. Aldis was placed on administrative leave. Adam Pearce ran both shows like a substitute teacher, covering two classrooms simultaneously, which, if you know Adam Pearce, tracks perfectly. Fast forward 2 weeks, Aldis gets his job back, returns to SmackDown on July 10th, first night back, fresh tie, and Gunther attacked him again. Not a shove. Not a heated argument. A clothesline. Multiple sleeper holds. A big boot. Officials swarming from every direction, completely useless, while Aldis lay unconscious in the middle of the ring. So here is the detail that demands an explanation. Triple H gave this man his freedom once already after Night of Champions, and Gunther burned it down on the first night Aldis walked back through the door. What does a man like Triple H do with that information? Gunther had already been suspended once following the Night of Champions brawl, and Aldis had only just returned when the July 10th attack unfolded. That sequence is not a coincidence, it is a pattern. And Triple H does not tolerate patterns that threaten his authority structure. If you ran creative and a talent physically incapacitated your general manager twice in 2 weeks, you would not send a memo. You would send a message. And all signs point to that message being delivered before Madison Square Garden gets a single ticket scanned. If this breakdown is landing exactly how it should, smash the like button and lock into the WWE Elite family right now, because what Triple H actually does with this situation is where the entire SummerSlam picture gets rewritten. Here is the first massive reveal that changes how you read everything from Friday night. WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful has reported that WWE is actively discussing putting Nick Aldis back in the wrestling ring. And right after the Night of Champions backstage brawl, Big E on the post-show said that Aldis has never left the gym and is an amazing in-ring worker. That is not color commentary. That is a plant. WWE does not put Big E on camera to compliment a general manager's physique for no reason. Triple H's creative team is precise. Every word on that post-show means something. So the suspension is not just a punishment. It is a pressure valve. The longer Gunther is kept off television, the more the story shifts from ring general versus the authority, to ring general versus a man who used to be a world champion and still has unfinished business. The locker room already knows what Aldis is capable of. Cody Rhodes knew it. He sprinted to the ring the moment SmackDown cut to black. The question now is whether Triple H lets Aldis handle this himself or books it properly at SummerSlam in Minneapolis. Now here is where the internet wrestling community is reading this completely sideways. The popular take is that a suspension weakens Gunther's momentum heading into SNME, that keeping him off TV hurts the tag match and kills the heat. That theory is textbook wrong. Gunther being suspended, being forcibly removed from the building, is the best possible thing for his character right now. Think about it. Every time WWE management has tried to contain the ring general in 2026, he has come back louder, more violent, and more justified in his own mind. A suspension does not punish Gunther's character. It radicalizes him. And the most dangerous version of Gunther is not the one in a tag team match at Message. It is the one who shows up at Saturday night's main event having been told he is not allowed to be there, and comes anyway. Does Triple H book a last chance ultimatum that Gunther openly dares WWE to enforce? That is where this is heading, and that is the open loop that makes SummerSlam impossible to ignore. Zero in on Gunther's psychology and the whole thing clicks into focus. The ring general told Aldis backstage, "You know what it is? You're jealous. You'd love to be in my position." That line is everything. Gunther genuinely believes the system is rigged against him, that Aldis, that management, that Triple H himself is holding the door shut because they fear what the ring general at full power looks like. In 2025 and early 2026, Gunther retired Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles, three generational legends, and still cannot win the undisputed WWE Championship. A man who has done all of that and still cannot get the title starts to believe the problem is not him, it is the gatekeepers. And when you believe the gatekeepers are the enemy, you stop asking permission. That is not a breakdown. That is a manifesto. 3 predictions: all roads lead to Minneapolis. Number 1. Gunther shows up at Saturday night's main event at Madison Square Garden on July 18 despite any suspension, costs himself and Sami Zayn the tag match by going rogue mid-match, and Triple H books him versus Nick Aldis one-on-one at SummerSlam as the official consequence, Aldis's first WWE in-ring match. Number 2. Triple H issues a formal last-chance ultimatum on Raw this Monday. Gunther competes at SNME under strict conduct rules, and one violation means he is pulled from SummerSlam entirely, forcing the ring general to compete with a hand tied behind his back at message, building the explosion for Minneapolis. Number 3. The swing: Triple H does not suspend Gunther at all. Instead, he books Gunther versus Nick Aldis for the right to be added to the SummerSlam undisputed WWE Championship match, turning what started as a GM confrontation into a title stakes grudge match with the biggest main event spot on the line. One of these 3 things will happen. The only question is which one. The bottom line is this: Triple H did not get to where he is by letting talent run through authority figures twice without consequence. Gunther crossed the line at Night of Champions. He erased the line entirely on July 10th. And the ring general is about to find out that in Triple H's WWE, the only thing more dangerous than a monster on a rampage is a boss who has officially had enough. Here is the question for the comments: does Triple H actually pull Gunther from Saturday night's main event, or does he let him compete and save the real punishment for SummerSlam? Drop your answer. Next video we are breaking down exactly what happens when CM Punk and Cody Rhodes share a locker room at Message, and why their so-called alliance at SNME might be the most tense tag match of the entire year. WWE Leap Out.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a family blast CM Punk, with some WWE wrestlers sour about CM Punk's win, CM Punk gets death threats, a new TKO policy is absolute bullshit, Survivor Series War Games 2026 details, things get worse for The Rock, what is going on with Alexa Bliss's injury, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on our new Facebook page. And now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at a family blasting CM Punk. Now, what started as a simple request for privacy from CM Punk has now become one of the most talked about stories coming out of WWE's latest live event. The day after the show, Punk shared a now deleted Instagram story thanking fans for their support, before asking them not to follow him back to his hotel. "Are you for breakfast? Breakfast of champions. Please do not follow me to my hotel. Last cruises, you were lovely, loud and fun. See you all soon. Albuquerque on deck. Thank you." Now, although Punk didn't mention any specific incident, the post suggested that someone had followed him from the arena. According to Ringside News, the situation may have involved a family whose 6-year-old son recognized Punk while they were already inside the hotel lobby. The boy's mother insists they never followed Punk and believed the encounter was simply a coincidence. "We did not stalk him or invade his space. We arrived at the hotel at the same time as some of the wrestlers. A little smile or wave would have been nice, but instead, he totally ignored the boys and walked past them after the boys acknowledged him. No passe, nada." She later shared photos of her children meeting other WWE superstars, including Trick Williams, Charlotte Flair, and Oba Femi. The family also claimed Punk mad-dogged them after their son recognized him, leaving the boy's mother with one painful conclusion: don't meet your heroes. However, the story has since taken another unexpected turn. The boy's mother has now deleted both her written statement and the video she originally shared about the encounter. She didn't explain why the posts were removed or whether the backlash from CM Punk's fan base played any role in her decision. It seems that her original goal had been to make it clear that the family did not stalk Punk. With those posts now gone, the situation has only become more complicated, leaving more questions than answers. But were some WWE wrestlers sour about CM Punk's win? CM Punk's WWE Championship victory may have divided fans online, but according to a new backstage report, the reaction within WWE was very different. During a Fightful Select Q&A, Sean Ross Sapp was asked about how WWE talent reacted to Punk capturing the Undisputed Championship. It didn't cause some big uproar like a lot of times it is online. That's just it. If it would have come in 2023, immediately upon him arriving, yes it would have. But that doesn't necessarily mean everyone backstage has completely moved on from Punk's past. Sapp acknowledged that some hard feelings still exist, but stressed they appear to be limited to a small number of people. The majority of the locker room has simply accepted Punk's place within the company. There are still some people with sour feelings to this day, but a large portion of talent just work with him amicably and know he's going to be a big part of the company. There's just not a lot to really go off here. Maybe some eye rolls, nothing too bad. If the report is accurate, Punk's championship victory generated far more controversy among fans than it did behind the scenes, where most of the locker room appears to have accepted his role as one of WWE's biggest stars. However, CM Punk got death threats. CM Punk has revealed that the FBI has contacted him multiple times over death threats, and he believes toxic social media is making the problem even worse. Speaking on Stephanie McMahon's What's Your Story podcast, Stephanie explained that when authorities receive a credible death threat against someone, the FBI is required to notify that person. Do you know if there's a death threat against you, the FBI is to call you and notify you? Punk confirmed that he's received those calls more than once. Yes, I think they're pretty slack onto that too, by the way. I don't think they're catching all of them, probably not. There's been a few phone calls. When Stephanie noted that authorities often don't believe many threats are actually credible, Punk offered a sobering response, saying, "Yeah, thanks. It takes us that one time, right?" Punk explained why he believes the problem has become even worse, as around the time he captured the Undisputed Championship, emotions were running high following the title change. AI-generated graphics and fabricated quotes falsely attributed to stars like Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch and Logan Paul spread rapidly online, creating fake backstage drama that many fans mistakenly accepted as real. According to Punk, that misinformation fueled an already toxic online environment, with a small minority crossing the line from online outrage to real-life death threats. Next up, a former WWE champion nearing his return. Kevin Owens has been out of action since undergoing neck surgery, and the injury forced him to miss his planned WrestleMania match against Randy Orton. While WWE has yet to provide an official update on when he'll be medically cleared, a recent appearance on WWE LFG has given fans some renewed hope. The footage shows Owens coaching the next generation of WWE talent with his trademark passion and intensity. At one point, he became so engaged while demonstrating a sequence that he nearly took a bump himself. That brief moment has now fueled speculation that Owens is making encouraging progress in his recovery. His movement, energy, and willingness to get physically involved have led to many fans believing an in-ring return could be getting closer. However, it's important not to read too much into the footage. The clip doesn't confirm that Owens has been medically cleared, nor does it provide any timeline for his return. Given the seriousness of his neck injury, WWE is expected to take a cautious approach before allowing him to get back into the ring. Next up, a new TKO policy is bullshit. A reported backstage policy change under TKO is now raising new questions about how WWE now handles injured talent after their contracts expire. According to Fightful Select, wrestlers who are released while recovering from injuries are reportedly no longer allowed to continue their rehabilitation at the WWE Performance Center once they leave the company. The report describes this as a significant departure from the Vince McMahon era. At the time, injured talent were actually often allowed to complete their rehabilitation at the Performance Center even after being released. It also notes that releasing injured wrestlers was far less common under the previous regime. If the report is accurate, injured performers will now be expected to continue their rehabilitation elsewhere after their contracts expire. While WWE has not officially confirmed the policy, the reported changes already sparked debate over whether injured talent should continue receiving access to WWE's rehab facilities until they're fully recovered. What do you guys think? Is this fair or not? Next up, Survivor Series War Games 2026 details. The WWE has officially revealed when and where Survivor Series War Games 2026 will take place. The 40th edition of Survivor Series is set for Saturday, November 28th, live from Dakin Park in Houston, Texas, the home of the MLB's Houston Astros. WWE also confirmed that the signature War Games double cage match will return for a 5th consecutive year, continuing the format first reintroduced in 2022. And some fans won't have to wait long to secure their seats, even though this is a big stadium that's capable of holding 41,000 fans. Club WWE members will receive exclusive pre-sale access starting August 5th. The general pre-sale begins on August 6th, before tickets officially go on sale to the public on August 7th. Next up, what's going on with Alexa Bliss's injury? Now, Alexa Bliss has shared another update following Jade Cargill's brutal attack on SmackDown, and it suggests that the damage may be far from over. 3 days after Cargill trapped Bliss's arm inside a steel chair and crushed it following their July 10th match, Bliss posted an Instagram story showing her arm secured in a sling. The update came after Bliss had already shared a photo revealing significant bruising on the same arm, captioning it as, "Well, this wasn't on my bingo card." Now, this could be Alexa Bliss just keeping up kayfabe, as it could be simply part of WWE's ongoing storyline, or it could reflect a legitimate injury. For now, fans are left wondering whether the attack was designed to intensify the rivalry or just temporarily write Little Miss Bliss off television. Next up, things get worse for The Rock. But The Rock's live-action Moana was expected to be one of Disney's biggest summer blockbusters. Instead, it's now facing what could be a significant financial disaster. The film opened to just $95 million worldwide, well below projections around $130 million. According to Deadline, Disney could lose between $100 million to $120 million during the movie's first financial cycle, even if it eventually reaches $250 million at the global box office. With a reported $250 million production budget and an estimated $145 million marketing campaign, turning a profit is becoming an increasingly difficult challenge. So what actually went wrong? Well, many believe Disney returned to the Moana franchise way too quickly. Less than 2 years after Moana 2 surpassed the $1 billion mark, audiences were asked to pay for a live-action retelling of a story that they'd already experienced. At the same time, the film faced stiff competition from other family releases, reducing the urgency to revisit the original adventure. There was also some online criticism, as many viewers felt the visuals lacked the vibrant charm of the animated classic, with some comparing the remake to an AI-generated version. With this box office flop, it almost seems certain that The Rock is going to return to WWE in some capacity. Whether that happens at SummerSlam to set up the dream match between him and Roman Reigns could now be possible. Next up, WWE kept Logan Paul in the dark. Maxine Dupri's surprise heel turn on the July 6th episode of Raw didn't just shock fans, it also caught one of her own stablemates completely by surprise. After helping Bron Breakker and Austin Theory capture the WWE World Tag Team Championships, Dupri officially joined the Vision, and then celebrated by jumping into Theory's arms and kissing him. Speaking on his latest YouTube vlog, Logan Paul admitted that he had no idea the moment was coming. "We got the belts back, the Vision got the belts back, plus it looks like we now got a new addition. I may have heard some rumblings, I didn't know they were going to play tonsil hockey. It's a crazy industry, sometimes you don't ever know what the hell is going on." But despite the surprise, Logan Paul welcomed Dupree into the faction. The heel turn may also reflect a major shift in WWE's plans for Dupree. According to The Observer, the company quietly moved away from a babyface push after audiences never fully embraced the character. By aligning her with the Vision, WWE appears to be betting that a stronger, more character-driven role will finally unlock the potential they've long seen in her. Next up, more on Baron Corbin's WWE return. A Baron Corbin's surprise WWE return may have caught fans off guard, but according to Fightful, it had reportedly been in the works for months. The report states that Corbin gave notice to MLW back in May, and he officially signed a new 3-year WWE contract later that month, which will keep him under contract through the summer 2029. MLW also smoothly rode his departure into his storylines. Rather than vacating the Tag Team Championships, Donovan Dijak selected Josh Bishop as Corbin's replacement, allowing the Skyscrapers faction to continue uninterrupted. Next up, CM Punk explains his physique transformation. The CM Punk's incredible physique transformation ahead of WrestleMania 42 sparked plenty of online speculation, but the new Undisputed Champion insists it was simply the result of discipline and hard work. Speaking on Stephanie McMahon's Watch Your Story podcast, Punk revealed that about 6 weeks before Mania, he became determined to look noticeably different. Inspired in part by Chad Gable's workout posts, he reached out to renowned trainer Jay Ferrugia, who warned that 6 weeks wasn't much time, but they believed they could still achieve dramatic results if Punk committed completely. 6 weeks before WrestleMania, I was just motivated to go into WrestleMania looking physically different. It's like, if you listen to me and do what I say and you eat what I tell you to eat, I think we could do some damage. And we did some damage when I showed up in Mania. Punk later revealed that for the first time in his career, he weighed every meal using a food scale. His diet centered around white rice, 99% lean ground venison, and salt, while still allowing scheduled cheat meals. He also shifted his focus towards recovery, quality sleep, and stress management ahead of simply training harder. But despite online speculation about steroids, former wrestler and fitness coach Cesar Bononi defended Punk's transformation, saying it's entirely achievable naturally through dedication and consistency. finally, WWE selling their iconic jet. WWE is now saying goodbye to one of its most recognized behind-the-scenes assets, as the company's longtime corporate private jet has now been put up for sale. The aircraft, a 2008 Bombardier Global 5000 bearing the tail number N247WE, has served for years as flying office for top executives, including Vince McMahon and Triple H, while also transporting WWE superstars to major events around the world. The jet is currently listed for $10.49 million and can accommodate up to 13 passengers. Whoever purchases the aircraft, however, won't be getting a piece of WWE history in its current form, as the listing confirms that all official WWE branding and logos will be removed before the sale is finalized. Anybody got a spare 10 million? But there you have it, folks. Our look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content. Now, it's no secret WWE has a lot of problems in 2026. The glory days of the 2023-2024 are long gone, and there's been an urge from fans for WWE to make significant changes to certain elements of their shows. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 things that are wrong in WWE right now. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on our new Facebook page. Number 10, where's the creativity? When Triple H first took over WWE Creative, he was keen to experiment. New camera angles, new ways of shooting matches, new lighting, new graphics. Yet in 2026, this eagerness has completely dimmed. All the shows look the same. It's the same bland set for virtually every show, and everything is just shot the same no matter what. Why did WWE, well specifically Triple H, stop doing this? It was one of the most exciting parts of Raw each week, seeing how WWE would shoot certain angles and segments. WWE has this established formula in 2026, which sees the show open up with top names walking into the building. There's no actual intro, as WWE seemingly doesn't want to commit to creating an intro for shows, probably because they change their rosters so damn often. The show is mostly presented as if it's a sports program rather than a pro wrestling program, and there's a huge difference. This means that the show lacks soul and identity, and this is going to be a major detriment as the years go on. Number 9. The brand split. But what is happening with the modern day brand split? Wrestlers randomly appear on the rival show with little to no fanfare, and it's just something that fans have accepted at this point. During the initial brand split, it was presented as a big deal if a wrestler from the rival show appeared on the opposite brand. Yet this is virtually a weekly occurrence on WWE television in 2026. The Usos appear on both shows incredibly often, and this has become such a theme that Jimmy Uso declared on Raw this week that he was going to SmackDown. Why is he just allowed to do this? Additionally, wrestlers from the rival show have challenged for the rival brand's world title. Jacob Fatu, who's a SmackDown star, challenged Roman Reigns for the world title after WrestleMania. Jey Uso was on the hunt for the WWE title after Night of Champions, despite being a Raw contracted talent. The brand split only works if WWE commits to enforcing the split, as currently it serves no purpose whatsoever. Number 8. Title reigns. WWE knows how to master a title reign in this era. They did it masterfully with Gunther's reign with the Intercontinental title, yet outside of this reign, it's really hard to pinpoint a reign that has truly worked. WWE has this obsession with booking names to win the top prize in the company, such as the Women's World title, and then never defend it. As of right now, Liv Morgan still hasn't defended the title a single time on television, and she isn't even set to defend the title until SummerSlam. This is completely unacceptable, as she's a full-time name and it makes the title look incredibly weak. WWE may argue this protects world title matches, but WWE hasn't even had anyone outside of Io Sky stake a claim for the title. That's right between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Only one name has declared interest for the world title, and that's only because she won the Queen of the Ring tournament. Something really needs to change in this aspect. In fact, right now the Women's World title is being treated less prestigious than the US Women's title. Number 7. The Tag Division. It was reported last month that WWE is putting in considerable effort to rebuild their tag division. They're doing this after releasing tag teams such as Motor City Machine Guns and The New Day leaving the company. But WWE's grand plan is seemingly bringing in Enzo and Cass. Yet outside of this, it's unclear what else they have planned to revive the tag division. The tag division in 2026 is at an all-time low. Things look bright for 14 days on Raw as established tag team The Street Profits reclaim the gold. However, they would drop the titles back to the division, making all the process go back to square one. Over on SmackDown, Damian Priest and R-Truth are reigning champions. The issue isn't their talent, the issue is that there are hardly any tag teams for them to face, so they ultimately feel lost and neglected. WWE always goes through these waves with the tag teams, and this extends to the TKO era of WWE. They commit to producing the tag team division as red hot, as seen last summer, then once this fizzles out, they lose interest, and the tag division becomes a total afterthought. Tag team wrestling can be crucial to making a Raw or SmackDown show feel alive, yet it needs long-term work, and unfortunately, it appears that WWE really isn't willing to allocate the creative resources to revive tag team wrestling to its former glory. Number 6. Raw is the A show. Now, there's been a notable discrepancy between Raw and SmackDown in 2026. Raw is treated like the A show. It has the most compelling stories, and it's evident, perhaps due to the Netflix deal, that it's the show that WWE puts all its focus on. SmackDown has just come out of another 3-hour run, and the show has felt completely exhausting. The state of SmackDown was on full display when they did a taping in the UK last month, and the attendance dropped dramatically compared to Raw. It's hard to even highlight a single storyline that's been a delight from the Blue brand, as even the highly anticipated Cody Rhodes vs Randy Orton feud was completely butchered thanks to Celeb Mania striking for the second consecutive year. SmackDown is now once again a 2-hour product, and now with CM Punk as WWE Champion at the helm, hopefully this results in the reputation of the show turning around, and WWE creative finally stops delivering a subpar product for this secondary show. Number 5. The scheduling of shows. Well, one of the biggest missteps of the TKO era has been the reintroduction of Saturday Night's Main Event. Whilst the concept was a hit in the 80s, it just doesn't work in the current landscape of WWE. WWE has decided to implement numerous shows a year, and virtually every single installment comes just before a PLE. This means that it completely kills the build to the show. Now granted, some Saturday Night Main Event specials are given special treatment, such as when John Cena retired. However, some shows literally feature matches that would be found on Raw. Triple H clearly resents these shows, as he was seen on WWE Unreal discussing that WWE had an SNME special just 7 days before the Rumble. Why on earth are shows set in this manner? Makes no sense. TKO is just keen to spam as many shows as possible, and they'd probably produce a Saturday Night's Main Event special every single month if they could. Number 4. The PLE format. The format of PLEs has drastically altered in recent years. When WWE moved away from the traditional pay-per-view model, this meant that shows would now have commercials attached to them. And this means that after every single match, there's a lengthy commercial break. For international fans, they get an awkward title screen with the most annoying music imaginable. Like, I'd rather listen to the Right to Censor entrance theme on loop for about an hour than listen to this. This has killed a viewing experience for fans, as it feels like the shows exist solely to market these commercials and nothing else. The old pay-per-view format used to have 7 or 8 matches, and between these matches would be backstage segments that furthered the narrative of the show. Sadly, these are completely obsolete in 2026, as there's zero space for backstage segments when WWE has 30 minutes of commercials during a 3-hour PLE broadcast. Unfortunately, this is unlikely to change anytime soon, as some state that the pay-per-view model is dead. However, AEW still has moderate success with the traditional model, so if the day comes when TKO sells WWE, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the new owners reintroduce the traditional format. Number 3. Let it play out. Now, over the past few years, there's been numerous stories that we haven't still had a payoff for. We still don't know what The Rock was doing at Bad Blood 2024, we still don't know who attacked Jacob Fatu, and we still don't know who Adam Pearce was on the phone to at the start of the year. Setting up major mystery angles and completely ignoring them makes zero sense, as it stops the fans from caring if they know that big angles aren't going to have any payoff. Numerous stories have also been dropped. Bayley's split personality gimmick went absolutely nowhere. R-Truth's more serious character was dropped within a matter of weeks. Gunther and LA Knight engaging in a feud was dropped almost immediately. This is just so frustrating as a fan. It's just almost as if WWE Creative has no idea what they're doing. Number 2. Old Guard out. A number of months ago, it was reported that TKO were trying to restructure the contracts in numerous names. This meant that despite wrestlers signing a contract, TKO were trying to get out of it and amend it retrospectively. Naturally, this has led to a ton of criticism as WWE continues to make record money, and it's reported that TKO could be doing this to reduce their debts. One of the casualties of this was a New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. It was reported that the two legends were approached to restructure their deals, but they instantly said no and departed the company. For Kingston, he was one of the most tenured names on the entire roster, and TKO treated him like a total joke of a talent. This practice was heavily called out, and for very good reason. It was an instance of WWE taking advantage of seasoned names, and it ultimately showed a lack of loyalty and respect. This was then seen once again with Sheamus. Just 48 hours after the former WWE champion was teasing a comeback, he entered into contract negotiations, and similarly to the New Day, he declined immediately and exited the company. This just isn't the way to do business. Now, of course, wrestlers who have devoted decades of their life to making WWE better are really going to be offended by asking them to take a pay cut, and it's entirely possible that even more names walk out of the door if TKO continues with this cold tactic. And number 1, shock value. It's been suggested that WWE is booking to engage reactions on social media, and it's easy to see why this is the consensus amongst fans. For instance, WWE would book Brock Lesnar to return after his retirement after barely a month. This completely undid what was an extremely powerfully emotional retirement at WrestleMania. It just goes to show that WWE has to ruin every positive thing they do. Another instance of this occurred when Sami Zayn's WWE title win. Zayn won the title at Night of Champions, and this was a win that nobody saw coming. It was truly shocking. However, WWE would book Zayn to drop the title in just 9 days, making the entire reign completely pointless. It was also subsequently reported that WWE didn't see Zayn as a money player in the company, so they ultimately put their top prize on a name that they didn't believe was even a draw. It wouldn't be a surprise if this trend continued into the second half of 2026. And with the annual Money in the Bank show taking place in October this year, we really can't rule out a shock Money in the Bank win in some capacity. But there you have it, folks. 10 things that are wrong in WWE right now. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Here's your wrestling news for July 13th, 2026. Your headlines for today include CM Punk accused of giving 6-year-old fan a dirty look, CM Punk warns fans as mother of 6-year-old denies stalking him after hotel incident, Dominic Mysterio's character dynamic leaves WWE fans confused, WWE champion pushes for major character overhaul, Baron Corbin's new WWE nickname revealed ahead of SmackDown return, released WWE star and Brawling Brutes member announces in-ring return after nearly a year away, Nia Jax reveals dramatic weight loss transformation, fans slammed Tony Khan for spoiling major AEW return, and more. CM Punk's request for privacy after WWE's Las Cruces live event has now become the center of an unexpected controversy involving a 6-year-old fan. The day after the show, Punk shared a since-deleted Instagram story thanking the Las Cruces crowd before asking fans not to follow him back to his hotel. Ahi for breakfast, breakfast of champions. Please do not follow me to my hotel. Las Cruces, you were lovely, loud and fun. See you all soon. Albuquerque on deck, thank you. Punk did not identify anyone or explain what prompted the message, but it suggested someone had tracked him from the arena to his hotel. Now, Ringside News reports that the incident may have involved a family whose 6-year-old son Matthew simply recognized Punk in the hotel lobby. According to Matthew's mother, the family did not follow Punk or wait outside the hotel hoping to meet WWE talent. She says they arrived around the same time as several wrestlers, and her sons merely acknowledged Punk after spotting him. We did not stalk him or invade his space. We arrived at the hotel at the same time as some of the wrestlers. A little smile or wave would have been nice, but instead he totally ignored the boys and walked past them after the boys acknowledged him. No pasa nada. She also posted photos showing her children meeting other WWE superstars including Trick Williams, Charlotte Flair, and Oba Femi without incident. While Punk was under no obligation to stop for photos or autographs, the family claims the interaction went beyond simply maintaining his privacy. The family, who recorded the incident, claimed that Punk mad-dogged them after young Matthew recognized him, leaving the boy's mother with one painful takeaway, as she said in the video, "Don't meet your heroes." As of now, Punk has not publicly responded to the allegation or explained what he believed happened at the hotel. Whether this was simply a misunderstanding or an interaction that could have been handled differently remains open to interpretation, but it's certainly sparked plenty of debate among wrestling fans. Logan Paul wasted no time piling on to Conor McGregor after the Irish star's long-awaited UFC comeback ended in disaster. Following McGregor's first-round loss to Max Holloway at UFC 329, Paul shared a video on Instagram reacting live to the fight. Having placed a bet on Holloway, he celebrated as McGregor struggled and the betting odds shifted dramatically in his favor. "Easiest money of my life. This is embarrassing. He looks slow. He looks lazy. Oh my god, look at the odds. It's not even over. Holloway to 95%. What? Ha 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 ha." But Paul was only getting started. After McGregor's right knee gave out, forcing the fight to be stopped, the social media star turned his celebration into a direct challenge. "Washed up, degen, pathetic. I have nothing nice to say other than I won $30,000. When you're done with whatever this is, Connor, we should box, bro. You might have a better chance." The comments came after McGregor's first UFC appearance in 5 years ended almost immediately. Moments after throwing his opening kick, he planted on his right leg, which buckled underneath him. Although he attempted to continue, the knee gave way again, leaving the referee with little choice but to stop the contest. McGregor exited the arena shortly afterward, still dressed in his fight gear and reportedly refusing to use crutches despite the apparent injury, while Paul made sure the disappointing night ended with one more public jab. Dominic Mysterio may have looked like a hero in AAA this past weekend, but his explanation afterward reminded everyone why he's still one of wrestling's biggest heels. During the July 11th AAA event, Perros del Mal, led by Daga, launched a brutal assault on El Grande Americano and Los Americanos. Just when the numbers became too much, Dominic charged to the ring with a steel chair, driving the group away and seemingly coming to Americano's rescue. At first glance, it felt like the start of a long-awaited babyface turn, but once Dominic picked up a microphone, the story changed completely. Rather than claiming he wanted to help Americano, Dominic admitted he was simply protecting his own championship match at Triple Mania. He made it clear that he wanted his future opponent healthy and available, not taken out by someone else before they ever stepped into the ring together. To prevent another attack, Dominic even proposed a temporary alliance, challenging two-member of Perros del Mal to face him and Americano in a tag team match. That's exactly why fans remain divided. Dominic's actions resembled those of a babyface, but his motivation was entirely self-serving. He wasn't protecting El Grande Americano out of respect, he was protecting the biggest title match of his own title reign. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Tiffany Stratton believes she may already have the answer to reigniting her WWE character, and it involves revisiting a gimmick that never made it to television. After a breakout first year on WWE's main roster, Stratton's momentum has slowed considerably. Just 1 year after facing Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, the reigning Women's United States Champion was left off the WrestleMania 42 card, leading many fans to question her creative direction. Earlier this year, Stratton admitted on the No Contest Wrestling podcast that her character had started to feel stale and that she wanted to embrace a more mischievous heel persona again. Now, during an interview with KFAN, she revealed the idea she is considering pitching to WWE once more. Yeah, it's kind of just like, you send in the pitch and you move on and hope they go with it, but honestly, I may re-pitch the Daddy's Little Rich Girl stuff. The reason why HBK didn't want to go with it, I think, was because they just didn't have a daddy for me. There was never a payoff, so maybe I could have a daddy now on SmackDown and there can be a payoff. Whether WWE decides to revisit the concept remains to be seen, but it's clear Stratton is eager to evolve her character. And if the company finally finds the right story to support the gimmick, it could be exactly the fresh start she's been looking for. After laying out both Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams on SmackDown, WWE already appears to be positioning Baron Corbin for a three-way United States Championship rivalry. But it may not just be Corbin's return that fans should be paying attention to, it's the character he's brought back with him. Following his shocking appearance on the July 10th episode of SmackDown, WWE released new merchandise confirming that Nomad is now officially part of Corbin's presentation. The shirt features his name across the top with Nomad displayed between it, carrying over the identity he developed after leaving WWE. Corbin's first WWE run came to an end in November 2024 after more than 12 years with the company. He later competed in MLW as Bishop Dyer, where the Nomad became the defining chapter of his post-WWE career. More importantly, Corbin has previously explained that the Nomad is the spiritual successor to his original Lone Wolf character, bringing back the darker, more serious, and solitary persona that first resonated with fans. This may be a WWE comeback, but also feels like a fresh beginning. Baron Corbin has returned on his own terms, and WWE may finally be embracing the character he wanted fans to see all along. Luke Menzies, formerly known to WWE fans as Ridge Holland, is officially set to return to the ring after recovering from multiple serious injuries. Following his WWE departure in November 2025, Menzies battled a Lisfranc foot injury and later underwent a 2-level cervical disc replacement surgery. By April, he confirmed he had been medically cleared, and a month later announced that he had fully recovered from both setbacks. Now his comeback is officially on the calendar. Menzies is signed with the newly launched National Wrestling League in the United Kingdom, where he'll represent Team Yorkshire under the nickname the Bionic Yorkshireman. His first post-WWE match is scheduled for August 9th, 2026 at the NWL event in Newcastle, marking the start of the next chapter in his wrestling career after a long road to recovery. Nia Jax's dramatic physical transformation is continuing to impress fans, with the WWE superstar revealing that she's now lost more than 100 pounds. During an appearance on Insight with Chris Van Vliet, Jax reflected on her 3-year health and fitness journey, revealing that she has returned to the same weight she was when she first signed with NXT. She also showcased her transformation on Instagram with the caption, "She's bad," drawing an outpouring of praise from fans in the comments. According to Jax, the journey began while she was away from WWE, giving her the opportunity to focus entirely on improving her health. Alongside a disciplined nutrition plan and regular weight training, she credited an unexpected hobby, pickleball, for playing a major role in her progress, revealing that she often spent up to 5 hours a day playing with members of her church group. Jax also said that embracing her faith and becoming more involved with her church community helped her stay mentally focused on her long-term goals. Early in the process, she also received encouragement and fitness guidance from close friend Charlotte Flair. More than just a remarkable weight loss story, Jax's transformation reflects years of dedication, discipline, and a commitment to building a healthier lifestyle. Hangman Page's return should have been one of AEW's biggest moments of the summer. Instead, much of the conversation has centered on Tony Khan's decision to announce it before Collision even went on the air. After AEW revealed that Hangman would open the July 11th edition of Collision in Roanoke, Virginia, fans quickly questioned why the company gave away what could have been a huge surprise. One fan wrote, "What the f? Why not have it be a surprise? Announcing it just because it's in his hometown is very lame." Another echoed the same feeling, "Man, this would have been great as a surprise. What are we doing here, Tony? Come on, man." And one more questioned the platform itself. "What? Why waste his return on a Collision?" Those reactions reflected the biggest concerns online. Many fans felt AEW had two better options, either keep Hangman's comeback completely secret or promote it throughout the week instead of announcing it just before the show. Others argued this has become a recurring habit, with Tony Khan revealing major returns ahead of time instead of letting fans experience them live. Some also felt that after being away since Revolution in March, Hangman's comeback already had months of anticipation behind it and didn't need to be announced at all. There were also fans who admitted the announcement itself made the return feel less special and more underwhelming than it should have been. Hangman received a huge ovation in his home state, but for many fans, what could have been a genuine shock moment became just another social media announcement. CM Punk's WWE Championship victory may have sparked heated debate among fans, but according to a new report, the reaction behind the scenes was far less dramatic. During a Fightful Select Q&A, Sean Ross Sapp was asked how WWE talent responded to Punk capturing the undisputed WWE Championship. His answer suggested there was little of the backstage controversy many fans expected. "It didn't cause some big uproar like a lot of times it is online. That's just it. If it would have come in 2023 immediately upon him arriving, yes, it would have." Sapp explained that timing played a major role. When Punk returned at Survivor Series 2023 following his highly publicized departure from AEW, an immediate title reign could have created significant tension within the locker room. More than 2 years later, however, the atmosphere appears to be very different. There are still some people with sour feelings to this day, but the large portion of talent just work with him amicably and know he's going to be a big part of the company. There's just not a lot to really go off of here. Maybe some eye rolls, nothing too bad. While not everyone has moved on from Punk's past controversies, it appears most of the WWE roster has accepted his role as one of the company's top stars, making his championship victory feel far less controversial backstage than it has been online. Andrade El Idolo's latest AEW appearance had fans asking one question: who was the mystery woman standing beside him? During the July 11th edition of AEW Collision, Andrade was featured aboard a luxury yacht alongside an unidentified woman as the two posed for selfies, shared a drink, and enjoyed the spotlight, while Andrade confidently declared that he was destined to become an AEW champion. AEW never identified her during the broadcast, but the mystery didn't last very long. Shortly after the show, independent wrestler Rachel Leigh took to her Instagram story to confirm that she was the woman featured in the segment, ending the online speculation. Leigh has been making a name for herself on the independent wrestling scene, competing for promotions including PWJ, BST, Dreamwave, Uprising Women Athletes, ALW, and several others. Interestingly, this is becoming something of a pattern for Andrade. Over recent months, AEW has repeatedly paired him with mystery women on television, leaving fans to play detective before the identities are eventually revealed. This time, it was Rachel Leigh's turn to step into the spotlight, proving once again that an Andrade segment often creates as much conversation off-screen as it does on it. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop. Here's more wrestling news for July 13th, 2026. Your headlines for this afternoon include: hilarious segment involving CM Punk, LA Knight, and Otis had fans talking. WWE superstar officially stripped of major championship due to injury. Richard Holliday's emotional gesture fuels WWE talk. Wrestling community pays tribute after tragic loss. Tiffany Stratton responds to online hate, says they're kinda right. WWE legend secretly likes social media post about Bayley jumping to AEW. Mark Henry slams new WWE US title design. Sami Zayn's short reign gets major defense. AJ Styles picks up new profession, and more. CM Punk may be the new undisputed WWE champion, but he also delivered one of the funniest moments of WWE's live event weekend. During Saturday's show in Las Cruces, New Mexico, Punk stunned fans by making his entrance wearing Charlotte Flair's signature robe, leaving the crowd wondering what exactly was going on. According to reports from the event, Flair caught Punk backstage wearing her robe just before he headed out. Punk still made his entrance in the iconic attire, but moments later Charlotte walked out to reclaim it, creating a hilarious backstage payoff that had the live crowd laughing. Flair later shared the clip on her Instagram story, making it clear there were no hard feelings and that she enjoyed the prank just as much as everyone else. The fun continued after the official main event, where Punk and Cody Rhodes defeated Gunther and Ricky Saints. As the celebration unfolded, Cody hoisted the new undisputed WWE champion onto his shoulders, with Punk proudly raising the title high above the crowd, despite the two being future rivals. Then came one final surprise. Otis joined the babyfaces in the ring and entertained the crowd with his signature worm. That inspired LA Knight to attempt the move himself, and the sight of the megastar doing the ridiculous choreography completely caught Punk off guard. The new WWE champion couldn't keep a straight face, bursting into laughter as the show went off the air, giving fans a memorable and lighthearted ending to the night. Vikingo's injury has now led to another major consequence, as the AAA Latin American Championship is officially vacant. After suffering a serious knee injury on the June 30th episode of NXT, Vikingo recently underwent surgery that is expected to sideline him for 6 to 8 months. With the champion facing a lengthy recovery, AAA has now been forced to bring his reign to an early end. On the latest episode of Lucha Libre AAA, Vikingo's Ojo stablemates, Omos and Dorian Roldan, came to the ring carrying the championship. Roldan blamed AAA General Manager Rey Mysterio for allowing Vikingo to compete on both NXT and SmackDown, arguing that those appearances ultimately led to the injury. Roldan then attempted to hand the championship to Omos, but Rey Mysterio quickly stepped in, ordering the title to be returned and warning Omos that he would face suspension if he refused. After Omos angrily tossed the championship back, Rey officially declared the title vacant, bringing Vikingo's 42-day reign to an unfortunate end. During the post-show media scrum, Rey confirmed that Vikingo is expected to miss a number of months before revealing that AAA will announce its plans for the vacant championship next week. One intriguing name already circling the title picture is Damian Priest, who has publicly expressed interest in challenging for the AAA Latin American Championship. With the title now vacant, the race to crown a new champion is officially underway. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Richard Holliday may have just sparked the biggest speculation yet about his future, and it all came down to one symbolic moment after his latest match. At GCW Melee in Manchester, Holliday was defeated by Bear Bronson. After the match, he remained seated in the ring for a moment before showing respect to his opponent, acknowledging the crowd, and then untying his boots. He carefully placed them in the center of the ring, bowed to the fans, and walked away. Traditionally, leaving wrestling boots in the ring symbolizes retirement or the end of a chapter. Holliday has not announced his retirement, however, leading many fans to believe the gesture may instead signal that a major career move is on the horizon. That theory has gained traction because PW Insider previously reported that WWE had Holliday on its roster as part of a potential talent recruitment, with his name mentioned alongside Hiromu Takahashi. However, the Wrestling Observer newsletter later noted that no deal had been confirmed and that any reports of a signing should still be treated as speculation. Holliday has attended multiple WWE tryouts over the years and has long been viewed as someone whose character and promo ability could fit comfortably in WWE or NXT. He was also previously considered for TNA's Mr. Elegance role, though that opportunity never materialized. Whether the boots mark the end of one chapter or the beginning of another remains to be seen. Sad news has emerged from the world of Lucha Libre as legendary AAA star Pimpinela Escarlata is mourning the loss of her mother, Maria del Socorro Lozano Hernandez. Known affectionately as Doña Socorrito, she passed away on July 12th after battling severe health complications. The news has prompted an outpouring of support across the Mexican wrestling community. Promotions including Promociones Cantu, several regional organizations, and media outlets such as Lucha Libre Online have all paid tribute, while thousands of fans have flooded social media with messages of love and condolences. Many have also praised Pimpinela's professionalism, noting that she continued to perform despite carrying the emotional weight of her mother's illness. On behalf of everyone at Slat Rock Wrestling, we extend our heartfelt condolences to Pimpinela Escarlata, her family, friends, and all those grieving this tremendous loss. Tiffany Stratton isn't letting online criticism get under her skin. In fact, she believes some of it can actually make her a better WWE superstar. During an interview with KFAN, Stratton spoke candidly about how she views fan reactions, explaining that wrestling is built on opinions and that much of a performer's success is determined by factors outside their control. Pro wrestling is a very opinion-based entertainment, down to even the booking. Your fate is kind of decided by somebody else. You can't control whether you win a title or the fans like you or not. Sometimes the fans will hijack things, and I think the fans are the main reason we have this company, so I believe everyone is entitled to their own opinion, Stratton said. She also admitted that she doesn't simply scroll past negative comments. Instead, she believes there are times when critics raise fair points. Sometimes I do see hate comments, and sometimes I think they're kinda right. Sometimes I'm like, you guys have a lot of cool ideas, or you're right, that's not working, this is working. I take everything into account, whether it's hate or it's love. I believe if you believe the good on social media, you have to believe the bad on social media. It's an approach that sets Stratton apart. Rather than shutting out criticism, she embraces both praise and backlash, believing that honest fan feedback can play an important role in helping her evolve inside the ring. Bayley's future has become the subject of growing speculation, and a series of recent social media posts has only added more fuel to the conversation. Following her shocking betrayal on WWE television after a championship loss, the role model has kept a relatively low profile online, leaving fans wondering what comes next. The speculation intensified after AEW star Mercedes Moné shared a graphic featuring Bayley alongside the AEW logo, leading many fans to wonder if the longtime friends could eventually reunite in Tony Khan's promotion. Now, Bayley has added another twist. She recently posted a collection of photos on Instagram, including one featuring herself alongside several WWE stars, among them Shawn Michaels, which some fans interpreted as a possible farewell-style image. Another photo showed Mercedes Moné smiling while sitting on the floor. The discussion grew even louder when AEW commentator Jim Ross noticed the post and left it a like, prompting even more theories across social media. For now, however, there is no official indication that Bayley is planning to leave WWE, nor is there any confirmed report linking her to AEW. At this stage, the speculation remains exactly that, speculation. Trick Williams' new custom United States Championship is turning plenty of heads, but not everyone is impressed. During this week's SmackDown, rapper Lil Yachty presented Williams with a redesigned version of the title, replacing the traditional leather strap with white fur to match the champion's signature look. While some fans appreciated the personalization, many online criticized the design, questioning whether it still looked like a championship. WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry also wasn't sold on the new belt. Speaking on Busted Open, Henry admitted the design suited Trick's larger-than-life personality, but he couldn't get past one particular detail. "I thought it fit him very well, the diamonds and fur, but man, come on man, fur on the title? That's what you get when you got Lil Yachty handing him a title belt. I was like, come on man, really? I was saying really to myself like I was The Miz, not my favorite title of all time." The reaction is particularly interesting because Henry has been one of Trick Williams' biggest supporters, even previously saying Williams is one of the few WWE superstars who could tempt him out of retirement. Ever since CM Punk defeated Sami Zayn for the title on last week's Raw, fans have been debating whether Sami should have won the championship at all, given how quickly his reign came to an end. Speaking on Something to Wrestle, JBL argued that the title win itself was far more important than the length of the reign. "Look, it did something great for Sami. Sami's a world champion now. Now he's ex-world champion. That's something that very few people make it to be a world champion on that level. That's something to be said. Tommy Rich, hottest babyface in the freaking world back in the 80s, he was NWA champion for 7 days, and when he was announced, he was always the ex-NWA champion. You may have given Sami some real life out of here that he wouldn't have had without these 9 days as champion. You may have done something huge for him here. People always say, oh, he just held on to it for 9 days. Tommy originally held on to it for 7. He's held it, that's the big thing. Now he's got this to bitch about, and I think it's awesome." Meanwhile, Zayn was absent from the latest episode of SmackDown, where WWE explained that he was taking a mental health break following his title loss, as CM Punk and Cody Rhodes officially set the stage for SummerSlam. But with Sami still deeply connected to the championship picture, should WWE make SummerSlam a triple threat match featuring CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Sami Zayn? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. AJ Styles has earned plenty of championships during his wrestling career, but his latest accomplishment comes outside the ring. Speaking on the Phenomenally Retro podcast, Styles revealed that he is now legally qualified to officiate weddings and already has his first ceremony scheduled. "I can marry people now, that's right." He explained that one of his closest college friends asked him to officiate his daughter's wedding, a responsibility Styles says he is taking very seriously. "One of my best friends who I went to college with, we've been close ever since then. His daughter is getting married and she needed somebody to marry them. So here I go, I'm gonna be the guy." Styles joked that becoming licensed was surprisingly simple, admitting, "I'd love to tell you how hard it is to be able to marry people as far as getting your license or whatever it is that you get, but it's just filling it out online." While he plans to study a couple of ceremonies beforehand, Styles may soon be adding wedding officiant to an already remarkable resume. For all of our subscribers, don't miss the 9 a.m. Eastern video we dropped earlier today. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.
I want SummerSlam this year to be an amazing show. I want twists and turns, huge angles, big moments. But I can't help but feel like it just might be a little bit of a mess. I have a list. I have a list of things that could go wrong with SummerSlam. I do not want these things to happen, but it's WWE, it's TKO. We're in the Triple H TKO suck it era, sledgehammers. And I do have some concerns with all of you that they could repeat some things that did happen at WrestleMania. Last year's WrestleMania, it was kind of a mixed bag. You had a decent night 2. You had some good moments. Night 1 felt like just a commercial, but we all had to suck it up and bend over and just take it. Because this is a 2-night show. We've done a 2-night show for SummerSlam previously, but this 2-night event, I worry that TKO is going to do even more things similar to WrestleMania, the first one being too many ads. And I'm seeing this even on SmackDown. I'm seeing one of these things, ladies and gentlemen, that gives me a little bit of weariness, caution, I'm scared, is that I saw Fatal Influence doing a promo, but it was a sponsored ad integration promo, where it was John Cena at the beginning, and then it went to Fatal Influence. They did an ad promo. I can see them doing way more of this, and when it comes to SummerSlam, I do worry that they will have the show flow like they did with WrestleMania, where it is a massive amount of integrations, where it is going to be ads at the very beginning. Mid-matches, they'll do ads. Obviously, we'll have ads all over the ring, backstage ads, commercial cuts. They'll probably be pushing Unreal on Netflix 800,000 times an hour, or they'll just put the Hogan Netflix thing on again and put it on repeat. I don't want this. I want them to have match flow. I want to have these matches expand into like more than 12 minutes. We'll talk about that in a second. I want them to not do so much of the heavy-handed ad integrations. I understand it from a business perspective, but man, oh man, when you look at WrestleMania, it definitely took away from the experience. Now, speaking of taking away from the experience, the other thing is what I just kind of mentioned there, just dropped it in there, is going to be match times. This will go into a further point that I have about the matches and the things that we'll see. I'm thinking of the last WrestleMania, and just so many of the matches were short. It was completely unnecessary because it's WrestleMania. It's the biggest show of the year, and this is supposed to be the hottest, sweatiest, bulgiest party of the summer, and you think that they're going to have a plethora of matches that will have a long time, like 20 minutes, 22 minutes, 18 minutes. I worry that WWE is going to structure this like Mania and give us a 9-minute match. The Brock Oba Hell in a Cell, on paper, that should be like a 15, 20-minute match, right? Because it's Hell in a Cell. These guys should be meandering around the cell, in and out, slamming each other, using weapons. I don't need a huge, fast-paced match between Oba and Brock as an example. I don't need the 6-minute match. This thing should drag out. It should tell a compelling story. I still worry that for a match like that, even though there's a cell, it's going to be like 6 to 7 minutes. The match itself could be as long as it takes for the cell to descend and to start the match. These are the things I'm concerned about. Even if you have like the women's match, Io Sky, Liv Morgan, they could do something like 9 minutes, and I hope not. And then obviously with their main events, they typically give those the most amount of time, especially a Roman match. A Roman is just a lot of Roman bloodline stuff where we're going to get anywhere from 9 minutes for entrances, and then a lot of slow pacing and slow building, where you could have a 35-minute match between Seth and Roman. I want them to learn from WrestleMania and give us longer matches to let them breathe, especially if you're going to have matches that didn't get the opportunity to tell a story, a build, and to promote this rivalry. For example, on Raw, we're going to find out who's going to be the #1 contender for the IC title. That's not going to probably have, with 3 weeks to go or so to SummerSlam, it's not going to have the most compelling story in my eyes. It'll just be, this is your challenger, Penta, and then they'll fight. I would then like it to be a trade-off that in the ring, I could get a 14-minute Penta match so that these guys could really tell something interesting. But the other thing that's on this list, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, my name is Matt. Welcome to Assemble. Thank you for coming and subscribe to the channel. Dang it, because we want all your help to get to 60,000 subs real soon, maybe by SummerSlam. But the other thing is this whole ESPN, I was going to say fiasco, but relationship is the word we'll use. And I have a bit of an issue with how they are structuring these shows, and I could see them going even further with SummerSlam, where they have the so-called free matches on ESPN regular. So if you're a cable subscriber, you have ESPN on your telly. WWE's been doing this over and over again this year, where it's 1, 2 matches are free included to watch on regular television, and then they switch the broadcast over to premium for ESPN So you have the ESPN Plus thingy, and you're going to get the other 3 matches or 4 matches. And obviously, if you have Netflix, you're international, you're in Canada like me, then it's just all on Netflix. And then we just get all the Netflix ads. But I have an issue with this whole structure. I get why they do it. It's to drive subscriptions over to ESPN Plus. But I feel like it's actually a big negative point for them. Because for people that have ESPN Plus, they're not getting the full value. They spend like $30 a month for this thing. And if it's a normal PLE, the plays, you get 5 matches and 2 are just for everybody. So you as the premium user only get 3 matches, 4 matches for what your dollar is. That's ridiculous. SummerSlam should have a lot of matches each night. But if this is going to be 5, 6 matches per night and they do 2 on the free and 3 is premium, you're not giving the users, the customers, the best value. Just include a pre-show match, like the old days. I don't need 13 matches on the card, but set it up so that this is like pre-show. Here's a match with a story, not just 2 guys thrown out there. Give that away. And then leave everything, the 6 matches for SummerSlam Night 1, all behind the premium thing. Even as a Netflix user, it's like, well, the ESPN's just giving this stuff away for free, but I'm paying through the Netflix subscription for the whole show. I feel it's a slippery slope too, because it doesn't make it feel premium. All right, but here's another concern for all of you. It's that with the main events, you got Roman versus Seth, you got Cody versus Punk. My concern was SummerSlam, and I really hope I'm wrong, but I worry that they will not do a WrestleMania level angle. Something jaw-dropping, exciting, a turn, something that makes you leave the show, end the show going, wow, I can't wait to see what will happen on Raw. Wow, I can't wait to talk about this. Did you see what happened in the main event? That is what I am looking for, and I just don't see it happening. For example, look at the Roman-Seth feud. This is going to be pull-apart brawls for 3 weeks, some Superman punches, a stomp, contract signing, all the standard things they like to do for the build. In the match, though, there's nobody else really involved other than the Bloodline. And that's maybe the one thing I could see happen, is Zilla Fatu shows up. Hoodie, haven't seen it in a month. And he shows up and attacks Seth. Roman gets the victory and retains. Ooh, that's the big shock angle. Neither guy is really in a position, in my eyes anyways, to turn face, turn heel. It wouldn't be necessary for the story. So I feel like Seth and Roman will have maybe a pretty clean result. You don't have a Money in the Bank question mark yet. Unless somebody else completely random comes down to cost Seth Rollins the match, cost Roman Reigns the title. Like LA Knight gets super angry and he runs down and he takes out both guys. Because at last SummerSlam, the big wow moment was Brock Lesnar's return. Cena Cody have their match, Brock comes down at the end, takes out Cena, there's their program. And on the flip side, you did have the title match between Punk and Gunther. Great match. Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship. That was awesome. Look on his face was amazing. Seth's music hits, Money in the Bank cash in, new champion. They did give you some great shocking moments at the end of SummerSlam last year. You may not be a Brock fan, but it's still something, and the crowd, the live crowd, went nuts for it. And I thought the cash-in moment was really great because it came off of Seth Rollins with his injury, right? And he had the crutches and he threw them down, cashed it in. Big moment. That's what I need to see as a fan for SummerSlam coming out of it. Something captivating. But I feel like where the pieces are right now with the shows, they don't have those things in place. Brock's around. We haven't done Money in the Bank yet. There's a lack of urgency and question marks around it. So maybe somebody gets involved. And if you look at Punk versus Cody for that title match, I also have concerns that they do it as just a straight up good guy versus good guy. They build this tension for a few weeks, but as we saw with the promo on SmackDown, it didn't have any juice. It didn't have any life, at least in my eyes. Like, I am going to be curious and excited to see how this match plays out. But in the coming weeks for the build, is either guy going to be going to the dark side, or are they just going to be friendly competitors? Will we see something interesting at the end of the Punk-Cody match where one guy turns bad? Does The Rock show up because Moana is a giant flop? Does Randy come back and RKO Cody? There are options in there. It'd be just neat to see what they will do. But I worry that they will get this to a WrestleMania level and go, we'll just send everybody home happy, clear winner, clear loser, and no real shenanigans. I need a little shenanigans in my life. But what I don't need in my life are these ridiculous ticket prices. And there is an issue and there is a concern in my little mind here about what will happen if these tickets do not sell. So if you saw recent reports or even Matt's stinking little video from last week, we did talk about how SummerSlam tickets are not doing great. Around 20-ish thousand per night has already been sold. and the stadium holds north of 60,000. It ain't a good number right now. They have a couple of weeks to sell, but life is expensive and nobody has a lot of dollars just even to buy bacon on the side. So we have to be able to budget these things, and people can't go out and just drop huge coin for these shows. Can you get reasonable price tickets? Absolutely. You can stand in the nosebleeds and you can sit there for $100. You can find tickets, but it's a lot between the tickets and travel, expenses, all of it. It's a huge investment to go to SummerSlam. Things aren't selling that great, and the product honestly is just not the hottest thing. Despite a lot of great main event talent and some great matches that have been announced, it's just not captivating week to week, so I don't think people have that urgency to go out and spend money, huge dollars, on this show. Yet, at least. Where I'm getting concerned with this, everybody, is that you could see a repeat of WrestleMania. If the tickets do not start selling at a higher rate, I worry TKO is going to do the thing they do. Tickets low, break glass. Enter Pat McAfee, some sort of basketball player, to get in a match. Bring out The Rock and he stands on the stage. Or the ultimate is Jelly Roll comes back. I don't work here! We saw this with Cody and Randy. It didn't need it, and TKO got right in there, shoved Pat in our face, pushed ticket sales, discount codes, all because WrestleMania wasn't selling as much as they wanted to. They could have just kept prices lower, slash the prices, but also told better stories week to week, make it more interesting. And Pat was not that piece. I worry with 3 weeks to go that they could derail it. And I don't think they would derail the Roman-Seth feud. I don't think they touch Roman Reigns, but I could really see them in a week and a half, got something up their sleeve, and they mess up Cody's thing again, because it's always the Cody feud. They love to come in and they insert big celebrity, and it'll be like a special guest referee spot or something ridiculous. But the focus will be taken away from Punk and Cody, and it will be about this outside person to help drive traffic, tickets, social media engagement, yada yada. It's probably the biggest thing on my list today, where I'm like, I can see them doing it, I can see them doing it last minute, and it just wrecking stuff. And it's not that they would have a celebrity person, guest superstar thingy showing up at SummerSlam as a surprise. They would want to get them in there before the show because they got to drive ticket sales. I got another one on my little list here, and that is not building meaningful stories, captivating stories for the undercard, the mid-card, where I think of people like your Trick Williams, where you got Japenta. Rhea Ripley is a massive question mark. She's not the undercard, but we don't even know if she'll make it to SummerSlam with her knee injury. Other matches they want to put out there. What's Sami Zayn gonna do at SummerSlam? It could be something amazing, but I really wish they would take more time with the TV time they have and build compelling stories for not just the main top talent, top title scenes, top matches, main event matches, but the ones that are below that, instead of just putting them against an opponent for a couple of weeks and then they just have their 10-minute match. It helps elevate the whole card. Otherwise, people just wait for what happens in the big main event scene, and the other matches sometimes are just kind of there. I want Trick Williams to have an amazing, compelling story, rivalry match going into SummerSlam. I want Tiffany Stratton and Jade and all those girls to do something really cool. I don't feel it. I want Chelsea Green to make it on the card in something really neat. Blake Monroe to have the debut match at SummerSlam with a great story behind it, because it just adds to it. And speaking of adding to it, adding to the show, one thing, I hope they do this. I do. All the ducks are lining up where they will pull the trigger on this, but I'm hopeful that we will get Gunther versus Nick Aldis. This is a very prototypical Gunther program at this point. Gunther just points and wants to take out some legend, some other wrestler, retire somebody, the Cenas, the AJ Styles. He just finds his target, goes for him. He did the Pat McAfee match before last year. This feels like it is exactly what they're doing. I hope it is. I'm excited if they do it. I'd be disappointed if they don't and they give Nick Aldis some sort of surrogate opponent. He calls on a Sami Zayn and makes Sami fight Gunther, and then they have the match. Or Nick just pulls, I don't know, anybody else or a celebrity, and pulls them in because TKO feels like the numbers are down. So then, oh my God, that's what they're going to do, isn't it? Tickets won't sell. TKO will replace Nick Aldis with some celeb, and they'll fight Gunther and lose. Oh no. I hope not. And I hope hope it is Nick Aldis. Magnus needs to get in there and have his match. I wouldn't take him to win it, but I'd love to see it. When you look at the road from SummerSlam to kind of the rest of the year, it's pretty important, and it's important to WWE, and they've talked about this themselves in interviews and Unreal and all this stuff, that they really look at the two big 10 pulls of the year. Road to WrestleMania and kind of the road to SummerSlam. You finish WrestleMania, and then they're putting some pieces in place to get to SummerSlam. Then we go to SummerSlam, and then the next big pieces are Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, Road to WrestleMania again. And the way the product has been lately, in my eyes anyways, is that it's not the most captivating thing week to week. There are some amazing, great spots, moments, intrigue, hype, good matches, and I want SummerSlam to be an amazing, talked about show, because then we all win. But I worry that if some of these things do happen, and it feels like a repeat of some of the things they did wrong at WrestleMania, then fans are gonna have a little bit of a problem with it. But what do you think? What is on your list for SummerSlam? Don't do's and do's. What do you want to see happen? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy these videos, subscribe. It helps us grow. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs this year, so I appreciate any support, even just hanging out watching. Have a great day. See ya.